Design didn't start with Figma or Bauhaus, and definitely not with that one kid in class who bought a black turtleneck before the semester even started. Today we're answering a shockingly old question: when did design start? And yeah, it's way older than Helvetica. So the oldest design object is a 1.7 million years ago hand axe, which means early humans were designing things long before they knew what aesthetic meant. They shaped the axe for grip, balance, and efficiency. That's really just ergonomics. While some companies today still make product that hurts your hand for no reason. These early humans weren't just smashing rocks. They were doing primitive user testing. If it cuts your hand, bad design. If it cuts the animal, then it's a good design. Now jump forward a few 100,000 years and suddenly design becomes Instagram worthy. Egyptians used modular grids. Yes, that grid system existed before Adobe. Move that hieroglyph 2 squares to the left. The Greeks curved their columns so they look straight. Visual illusions. Basically the world's earliest Photoshop work tool. And in ancient China, they standardized the silk pattern across massive regions, which means branding existed way before minimal monochrome logos became a personal trait. Even color trends existed. Egyptian blue was basically the Pantone color of the year for just the 500 years straight. Fast forward to 1800s, machines were making products by thousands, which was great, except most of them looked like they were designed for someone who had never actually used the product. This era can be seen as rapidly changing, industrial revolutionizing ages, but basically the UX dark ages. Sharp edges, confusing interfaces, zero instructions, and everything was heavy for no reasons. So the company started hiring people to fix the chaos, and boom! Industrial design becomes a real profession. Probably the first time someone said, "My job is to make things safer." Loewy was obsessed with streamlining, not just for speed, but because humans apparently respond to curves better than rectangles. He redesigned trains that looked like they could outrun your morning commute, even if they barely made it on time. And those Greyhound buses curved so elegantly that people wanted to ride them for just fun or storytelling. Imagine like telling someone in 1930s and yeah, I'm late, but like my bus looked like a spaceship. Loewy didn't just design objects, he designed cultures. Coca-Cola vending machine that looked like tiny futuristic castle, Shell and Exxon logos that are basically national monuments at this point. Air Force One paint scheme, yeah, he made the president fly in style. Loewy had one secret weapon, the Maya principle. Most advanced, yet acceptable. Basically make it futuristic but not so crazy that people call their mom to ask what it is. He could take a boring fridge and make it feel like a sports car. He could make a train feel like a roller coaster without giving anyone motion sickness. Well, maybe just a little. Which is probably why every product he touched suddenly became coveted. By the time he passed away in 1986, he had touched nearly every part of American life. Train, buses, logos, appliances, even Air Force One. He didn't just make product look better, he made life feel faster, sleeker, and just a little more aspirational. If Amazon existed back then, his portfolio page would crash the site. Henry Dreyfuss basically wrote the first user manual for humanity. Dreyfuss didn't just design objects, he designed the people's experience with objects. He gave us the Bell telephone, the Honeywell thermostat, tractor for John Deere, and the first widely recognized human vector diagrams, Joe and Josephine, representing average human body. But he didn't stop at product. He realized humans also need to navigate world easily. So he redesigned public symbols, things like exit signs, restroom icons, the subway wayfinding, making sure even Joe and Josephine could understand them at a glance. Basically, he invented the language for humans to read spaces, not just stuff. Think about it. If you ever walked through like subway, airport, or office and instantly understood the signs, or pick up a phone and adjusted a thermostat without a struggle, you're basically using Dreyfuss math. He didn't just make things look good, he made life easier, one icon at a time. And Dieter Rams gave us the 10 commandments of good design. Rams led Browns designed him and created a product so clean, so rational, so quiet, they made everything else look like they're screaming for attention. His work wasn't flashy, it whispered, and somehow whispered louder than most of the other loud products. Every dials, every buttons, every line had a reason. Rams didn't just design things, he wrote the 10 principles of good design. Think of them as a Bible for designers. Innovative, useful, aesthetic, understandable, and a few more that basically say, keep it simple and don't be evil. Apple basically studied these principles like sacred texts. So the next time your iPhone feels just right, thanks to the Rams, the ultimate minimalist designer. This is when design stops being decorations and becomes thinking. When computer arrives, design goes from let's shape this object to let's design this experience, and then redesign it every 6 months because of software updates. Suddenly, every industry needs designer now. Tech, health, transportation, your fridge, and your toaster, everything except printers. Printers somehow stayed in 1995 forever. By the 2000s, design thinking becomes mainstream. Companies finally realize that when products are intuitive and enjoyable, users respond positively. And now, we are in the fastest design evolution ever. AI isn't just making thumbnails, it's becoming a creative collaborator. A very confident collaborator, sometimes too confident, like ChatGPT claiming it's the right source, but it turns out to be non-existing paper from somebody in Russia or China. But honestly, AI is scary. Think about like the intern who works for 24/7 and never complains and somehow already knows every design tool before you even finish downloading the updates. AI is changing design faster than any tools in history. We went from stone axes to AI that can generate hundreds of concepts before you even finish saying, make it more minimal. Right now, AI is doing everything. Generating mood boards, exploring form variations, simulating lighting, stress, airflow, ergonomics, and sometimes creating a design that looks like they belong in a sci-fi IKEA catalogs. Sometimes you ask for a chair and it gives you a chair with 8 legs, floating, made out of fog or water. But hey, exploration is exploration. What makes AI different from every design revolution before is speed. Design used to be iterative, sketch, refine, test, repeat. Now AI can give you 30 iterations while you're reaching for your coffee. It's not replacing designers, it's amplifying them. Think of AI as a creative multiplier. You're still steering the ship, but now the ocean currents are doing half of the rowing. And here's the interesting part, AI isn't just making objects, it's learning from the patterns in culture, engineering, and behavior, which means the design is becoming a conversation between human intuition and machine predictions. But here's the bigger point. AI isn't the end of design, it's the next chapter. Just like a stone tool were the beginning, and the factory transformed it and computer accelerated, AI is reshaping design into something more collaborative and more open than ever. We are entering an era where designers spend less time wrestling with software, have to learn new technology or new CAD modeling rendering program, and more time thinking more about meaning, culture, interaction, and impact. The tools are finally catching up to the thinking. So if early humans invented design to survive, AI might be the tool that helps us to reinvent design to thrive. Spatial computing is turning our rooms into screens. Circular design is making repair culture cool again. And accessibility is finally being treated as a core feature, not an afterthought. Design used to shape objects, now it shapes behavior, system, even societies. Which is great, unless you're a printer. Still no updates with the printers. So when did design start? Honestly, the moment humans started solving problem creatively. It began with survival, evolved into culture, became a profession. And today it's a mix of strategy, technology, psychology, and occasionally panic. We have been designing for over a million years, but the next decades, that's going to change the design more than the last 1,000. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the humor, the history, or just my inability to pronounce Egyptian blue, hit subscribe and I'll see you on the next episode of Local Form.